We look like the biggest paedophiles on the planet. Good to see you. Do you want to fuck my wife? No!
I was like stood up going,
We have got huge news coming in next week's episode.
yeah, I'm going to double down on that.
Yeah. You horrible Tory cunt. Just take her to the Maldives, you arrogant, incessant arsewipe. A guy asked me to fuck his wife.
Why has this stuff never happened to me?
Because no one wants you to fuck them.
Go on, tell me what happened.
I think people do want to fuck you. I think you're underrated as a human being.
By you? I'm so angry. I saw your story and I didn't want to ask because I knew that you'd tell me on this. And it just made me angry more than anything because I'm sick of you. Would you look at you with your boy band aesthetic, your fucking One Direction chic.
One Erection.
Fucking
All right.
No Direction. I can do puns too. Like,
yours was more disgusting.
Was
though.
it?
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway.
That's every MC that ever. Look at these boy band here, fucking No Direction. Oh, kill yourself. I hate that.
Oh yeah, that was definitely
yours.
You set such a high bar.
I did.
That it made me look bad, didn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sick of this. You getting like I can count the number of times I've been hit on half of one hand. That's how bad it is for me.
2.5.
No one's asking me to shag the wife. People are asking me to stay away from the wives.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think everyone wants me near their wife, though. You're blagging it like this has happened twice in 5 years.
But, that's a long. That can't get me words. That's a lot, you know.
The way you're saying it, though, it's like it's just constant. Where there's just a constant stream of blokes that want me to fuck their wives. That's mental.
Come on, lad. 2 is mental. 1 is mental. But 2 is even more mental. But, and you say in the last 5 years, it's not. It's probably like the last 2.
Yeah.
Why does this keep happening?
Yeah, no one wants an open mic comedian to fuck their wives. It's only when you
That's why no one wants me to do it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But like, why? What
Imagine that she kink, you go to the open mic, you go to Beat the Frog, he does 4.5 minutes, and you're like, oh, you got to get him to fuck me.
He gets gonged off at 4 and wanked off at 10.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I just, what is it about you that like, men want to be cooked by you? What is this?
You're saying it like this is just a constant, though. It's not.
Twice is enough.
Right, I know what you're saying, but like you're acting as if that like every bloke listening to this is just desperate for me to fuck their missus. That's not how it works. It's just there's a very small selection of the nation.
It's 2 out of 10 listeners, lad. That's fucking 20%.
Huh?
I was making a joke about us having hardly any listeners.
Oh. That's why I didn't get it.
Because it's not true.
We've got 26. Yeah, he wanted me to...
Did my maths actually bamboozle you for a second?
Bit, yeah, I didn't know what you were on about. Yeah, he wanted me to fuck his wife. So I did the gig. The gig was all... Okay, right. I got there. You see my picture of
Where was
the
it
act
again?
on stage. It was in Preston.
Yeah, I did see the picture.
It was in Preston. And the guy... I'm bad for this, right? If any listener wants me to gig in their house, you just have to message me and ask. I'll do anything that I'm asked to do.
As long as the wife's there.
Yeah. But it's so stupid. Like, I won't apply for gigs, but if you ask me, I'll just do it. I don't care where it is and how much money it's for.
Check the calendar if it's free.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm putting myself through this. He reached out, he messaged me. He went, "Can you do this gig for not enough money?" And I went, "Yeah." And then I turned up there. There wasn't even lights on the stage. You couldn't see who was on stage.
Was it his wife?
Which was absolutely mental. And then the bar manager's just heckling the acts on stage.
Sorry to cut you off, but I didn't give that enough. That is actually fucking mental. That is arguably the biggest faux pas I've heard of any gig ever. You could a dodgy mic, yeah, it's bad, but you can at least speak. What are you supposed to do if you can't fucking see them? See the facial expressions, like what was going through his head? Why did he think that was all right?
I still close with my Stormzy jokers, so that's not going to work if I look black, is it? Do you know what I mean? That's not going to work. Anyway, yeah, so I've got, like, by the time I got on, they'd managed to fix the light situation. I think what had happened is they just assumed it was enough light until somebody went on stage and they went, fuck. So when he introduced the first act, a guy ran on behind the first act and just sort of flicked a switch. But it was one of those gigs, Joe, where you just know it's not going to be great. So much so that Georgia Wiggins, G-Wig, she reached out and she was like, I've seen you doing a gig in Preston on XYZ date. How do I get tickets? And I sent her I messaged the guy. I said, can I get the poster? Guess how you had to get tickets. Guess how you get tickets for this gig.
Well, I imagine like Skiddle. Eventbrite, something like, a normal
ticket source.
Yeah,
normal ticketing platform. You had to ring the bar manager's mobile phone. and say, can I reserve 2 tickets and come down? Mental. So I sent it to Georgia and I was like...
It's easier to buy fucking weed than it is tickets to this.
So stupid. Because I was Googling, I was like, I don't think this gig exists because there was no mention of it online or anything. Anyway, so I sent it to Georgia and was just like, I'd probably swerve this one. I'd probably just wait.
Yeah, because you didn't want her to see you for like...
Well, that's it. I was like, I'm going to fucking die on my ass. You don't want listeners to come out and be like, oh, I saw that fucking Aaron Wood from the pod and he fucking just bombed for 20. Like, I was like, this is going to be awful. It's awful. And she was like, well, I'm only in town for a few, because she's from Essex, she said. And she said she's only in town for a few days. She's not got loads to do. She's still going to try and get tickets. And I was like, sweet, sounds good. And then I got there, saw there was no lights on stage. I sent her a picture. It was like, are you here? Please tell me that you're not. This is fucking horrendous. And she went, yeah, I'm at the back. And I went, oh my fucking God. Anyway.
Did you feel a bit of pressure then? Did it put a bit more pressure on you, or were you already
I'd feel pressure at that sort of gig anyway, because you're just constantly on toes. But yeah, a little bit, because you don't want to fucking bomb in front of listeners and stuff. Like, especially if they've come to see you. She had no business being in that fucking working men's club in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
So it wasn't even like Preston City Centre?
No. Does it have a city centre?
Well, yeah, I was going to say I've gigged in the city centre and that's a bit like...
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a town, first of all.
Oh, all right, whatever.
But like, it was just, it was in the middle of fucking nowhere. So anyway, opening act's gone on. He did great. And but it's just one of those gigs where you're like, I know I have the capacity to do well here, but I know it's just going to be hard work. Yeah. You're never going to feel like you have them.
Aaron, you have the capacity to do well anywhere, hon. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'm trying a new thing where I'm being supportive.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
I hated it.
All right, fucking bomb and die, you cunts. Carry on.
Anyway, I went up, and to be fair, it was great. It was really good. Everyone was just sort of like shouting out and heckling, but it was easy enough to bat them away and stuff like that. Like, as soon as I got on, I went and I'm fucking quite high pitched and energetic, and a guy shouted out, "Are you gay?" So that's where you fucking that's where the bar is right away.
And in his mind, that was the funniest.
Oh yeah, he crushed it. He'd absolutely crushed it. But no, the gig went really well, thankfully, and stuff. But it was just one of them where you're just constantly on your front foot, just waiting for anything to happen. But no, it went really well. And then a guy came up to me afterwards. This is the point I'm making. The guy came up to me. I was handing out my cards. I've got little cards. If you see me at a gig, you'll know I have little cards. Maybe that's how you're a fan of the pod now. And it just scanned the QR code, takes you to my social media, the pod, any ticket links I've got, all that good stuff. And I'm handing them out. And he says to me, he goes, my missus is outside. I want you to go and have a little look at it. And then if you like the look of it, like, do you want to come back with us? And I was like, rah. I was like, I'm all good. It was the way he went, but you haven't seen her. That's the most mental bit about it. He went, I said, no, I'm all good. And he went, but you haven't seen her yet. And I'm like, as if he wanted me to be like, yeah, to be fair, good point. I'll go and have a look.
Wouldn't it have been worse though if you had the look and went, yeah, I'm going to double down on that now.
Yeah.
What did he think? What did he think was going to happen? Did she know as well?
I don't think so. I don't know. I hope she doesn't.
Yeah,
because that's weird, isn't it? If he's he's like pimping her out.
Yeah, because I mean, if she did know, surely she'd have stayed within eye shot, or maybe that was the fantasy.
Maybe there was a capacity that he was joking, but it didn't feel like a joke to the point where like.
He said, yeah, got all the way back to his, got your kicks down, and he went, pin dick.
Yeah, there was the potential that he was joking, but the way I sort of like moved on from the whole situation, I just started handing out cards to people, but then they reacted in the same way as me, as if said that was a bit fucking mad, because they'd heard it. They'd overheard it.
Really? It was that kind of like...
Yeah, so it was so eggy. I told Georgia afterwards, and she was like, well, you are in Preston. I think she went to uni there or something, which is mad. I didn't even know Preston had a uni.
Yes, UCLan, innit? University of Central Lancashire.
But she's come from Essex, so studying
Preston. It's a few people I went to school with went to UCLan. It's a fairly, is it UCLan? I don't know. It's got a weird name. It's not like called Preston Uni, because if it was, no one would apply.
Nobody would be there. But yeah, the gig did go well, and I had loads of fun. It was just one of those ones where you just like you're not confident. You're not confident at any point.
About those working, not necessarily like working men's
in the toilets, like with the fucking cubicle door open. One guy was saying that he didn't like the opening act because Roy Chubby Brown is more his speed. He actually was talking about Roy Chubby Brown. Now he was actually really decent, and that's his more. So you're just like, this just isn't for me. And I said to Georgia, I was like, it's one of those gigs where like if they hated me, I'd be like happy about it. I feel like it's a success. Because I don't want them as fans.
Not your type of people.
Like there was a lot of them that were dead sound, but the people that I was interacting with the most, I'm like, ew, if you never came near me again, it'd be all right. Yeah. It's mental. I can smell you before I can see you.
No, I kind of love winning them over, though. Like crowds like that. Like I had one in Grimsby, and this was one of the few times I was hit on, but I didn't get a chance to like revel in it because I was also with Beck, and Beck was in the toilet when it happened, and I was just well aware of the fact that I was stood right by the toilet entrance waiting for Beck, and I was just like, yeah. Anyway, I've got to go, and just quickly grabbed Rebecca and got the fuck out of there. And she was really cool about it. It was me that panicked. Like, I don't know why.
Does it put you off when girls are forward? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Have we talked about this before on pod?
No, I don't know so much. I think we might have talked about it, but I don't know if we've talked about it. On the pod. I was saying about it when we had Mike on,
so maybe that's where I'm getting a bit confused. But yeah, when girls are forward, it just completely disarms me. I feel like I can talk to girls quite well, and I wasn't like a gimp, and I could have a conversation because you just have a normal conversation with them. You see, like it's all right if you're not like a weird lech and stuff. But like if they're forward and they're being that weird lech almost, like it just completely disarms me.
Why does it though?
Good to see you. Do you want to fuck my wife? No. Yeah, just makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, just a weird weekend of gigs. I did my Leicester show. Thank you so much to everyone that came out to see me in Leicester. That was class. I sold it out, but it was free tickets. And I remember saying to you that I'm panicking a little bit.
It's
sold out, but because it's free tickets, like people are just looking.
We talked about it on the last pod. The last one that goes out, it'll be on.
Yeah, I was just worried that nobody was actually going to show because they'd look out the window and go, fuck that, because I did that on the way to Leicester. So I was panicking a little bit that nobody would show, and I was right to worry about it. I sold, I think it was a 40 cap room in the end. I can't remember, 40 or something like that. And I'd sold it out, but only about 20 turned up out of the people that had booked. But then we turned away about 30 people as well. It was just ridiculous. I don't know what. I don't know how
was there no other room that you could have like subbed in or anything though?
No, so it was. They only had one space in this particular venue, so it was 40 capacity, 20 turned up, and then we let in 20 people that had queued, and then we still had to turn people away. Don't know what the fuck. I have such anxiety that the only reason my show's selling well is because like the name or the poster or something. I'm so worried about going to the Fringe.
Aaron.
Yeah, that's it. But like going to the Fringe this year, I'm so worried because I wasn't. That's not why it sold out last year at the Fringe. Was because I wasn't even in the brochure, so that wasn't possible.
Yeah.
And it was the website wasn't alphabet. It was just like nearest gigs to here sort of thing. Nearest shows happening now. So I have such anxiety that it's only selling well because of the name. And the name's not even that good. But like when I'm just feel like I'm just going in blind this year and it's going to be a fucking car crash.
Year, though, lads.
I know, but this is just stand up, innit? You're never happy.
I know.
You're never fucking happy. I'll get to a level where I'm like maybe selling out a tour for like, I've done it 10 years in a row, and the 11th year I'll be like, well, this is the one where it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
This is the one where they mustn't have liked the 10th one, so they're not going to come back to this. Yeah, mental. It's like, because I don't no idea why mine sold well in Leicester. Like I've been speaking to people and like, they've been having tricky ones.
What's the setup of Leicester? Because I don't know.
Mate, surprisingly really good, you know. Like, so I didn't know anything about it. Alex Hilton runs a company stroke umbrella type thing called Jokes on Us, and I just applied to Alex. It's all free. So it's all pay what you want shows. I just applied
so kind of like
Alex.
One big free Fringe.
Yeah.
And does it? Sorry to cut you off. I just want more information. I don't know anything about it other than the fact that there's an awards. What's the?
Oh yeah, I'm not getting that.
No, I know that's all I know about it though. So is it like a month-long thing like Edinburgh?
I've no idea.
Yeah.
I don't even know. You just don't do as many shows. I only penciled in one.
Yeah.
But I just applied to Alex because I've met him quite a few times before in the past and stuff, so I know him pretty well. And I thought I'll just do that. And I only asked for a small room because I wasn't confident I'd fill it or anything. But people were having tricky ones, and then it went. I don't know how I managed to get people in, but I'll tell you the problem with doing these sort of festivals and not having any profile whatsoever is that people just sort of wander in based on your show, based on the synopsis of your show. They just see it online and they just sort of wander in. And I had one of the oddest gigs I think I've ever had. There was about 8 listeners at the gig, maybe 5 to 8 listeners, something like that, which is class. It was such a cool weekend for like listeners coming out to see the show and stuff, and people that have followed me online for a little while. And I was absolutely buzzing, and I couldn't believe it because I thought I was going to get there and it was just going to be like brochure people and like nobody there sort of thing. But also amongst all of the listeners was just like the oldest people in the world. Like the oldest people in the world. At one point, right, first of all, it was the sweatiest gig I think I've ever done in my life. I felt so uncomfortable, and I was really annoyed with it afterwards because I did the show in Edinburgh every day, and I've got it to a point where I reckon you could have woke me up from a deep sleep at 4 a.m. and said, go on now, and I'd have just done the show, and it would have been sound. But I've not done it in like 6 months, and now I don't know it, and now I'm doing
which is
like
significant.
So significant. And now I'm doing like a less polished version of the show and like a really dumbed down version of the show, stuff that I don't remember. Like I'm only doing about 20 minutes of the material. So the show was 45 minutes.
New stuff as well.
Yeah, so the show was 45 minutes in Edinburgh, and I'm only still doing about 15 to 20 minutes of that. Yeah. So there's like 20 minutes of the show that I've not said since September last year, which is mental. So, yeah, I just felt like I was just dead anxious on stage and I was sweating my tits. I couldn't think about anything else, bro. At one point, I wiped my face and it was like as if I just put my hand under a tap. It was ridiculous. Mate, it was so sweaty.
When I was at the stand, it was like last time I was at the stand. No, it was the time before. That was during the coronation weekend and it was dead sunny.
Yeah.
And I remember like having a smasher, but like for the second half of my set, I was not present because all I could think about was the sweat in my eyes.
Yeah.
My eyes were on fire. I was actually crying, and all I could think while delivering was like, do these know I'm crying?
Yeah, did they know that I'm sweating my tits off? Well, now imagine that, but imagine the second half of your set's 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
It was so I hated it. I had to take my jumper off on stage. I got a wolf whistle off a man. Oh my God, I always wanted one of those. I couldn't focus on anything else, man. And the show went fine. So the people that were into it, it went really well, and they were like enjoying it and stuff. But at one point, a guy on the second row fell asleep. Some like old dude.
Yeah, but how old was he?
So old, mate. And then
in his defense, heat puts me a kip.
Yeah,
I could be loving a film.
I didn't even say anything to him until at one point I got an applause break that woke him up and frightened the shit out of him, and it was like the best moment of the gig. Yeah. Well, it was as if the movie just ended or something, like the theatre show just ended.
I've actually done that.
Yeah, so it was just so out of the blue, and he just shit his pants. So yeah, the gig went for. I wasn't happy with it. I'd really done my head in, to be honest.
But you're not going to be, because you're comparing it to when you had a flow and you were like doing it every day for the month.
I was just into it and stuff. But then at the same time, the people that were there at Leicester hadn't seen it in Edinburgh. So they're not comparing it to anything. They just thought it was a good show. But then that's also annoying because I'm like, you thought it was a good show, but I've seen it better. I've done it better. So you would have thought it was even. But by the by, it doesn't matter. The show was fun. Listeners came out and we chatted to those, and it was it's just like without getting all like corny and stuff. It's so sick when listeners are coming out, man. Like this pod's doing all right. It's doing fine, but it's had a lot of the same listeners since the very beginning. It's not really grown that much. It's just sort of like hit where it is and stayed there, and that's fine.
It slowly ticks up. Don't sell us short.
Yeah. But it's slowly ticks, but it's not like Have a Word just went fucking stratospheric immediately. Yeah. And Hot Water's Green Room went stratospheric, and so on. Dead Men Talking, fucking What's Happening. They all just sort of like found a rhythm right away and they smashed it. And that's great and stuff. But like when you still get people coming out, it's so sick, man.
Yeah,
and it blows my mind how they're like, without saying any names, we're thinking of the same person when I say this. Yeah. How they're just so like, they just take it for granted when people come out to see them. I've had like 8 people come out to see me this weekend, and it blew my fucking mind. Yeah. And I just think like to get to a level where you're actually doing shows where it's all of your people and all of your, I just think it's going to be the sickest thing.
And don't ever be shy. Always come up to us because we think it's fucking boss. Like I would never think it was. If anything, I get a bit weird just because I'm chocker, just because I'm probably more fucking nervous than you. Like,
the Georgia Wiggins came out to see it.
I would be, I'd be fucking chocker. That's right, G-Wig. But then, because I like it's only ever happened to me once away from a gig where I got recognised once in a bar, and I just kind of like didn't know how to take it.
Yeah. And by the end, you would be in a game.
I was the game. Photo. The time I got it recognised but this was like in a podcast situation. We went to one of the Have a Word quizzes, and someone recognised me for not a little boy anymore, but they butchered the line. What did they say? They're like, what was it? I'm a big boy now. That's what they said, something like that.
That's a good
like,
line.
Are you that guy? I'm a big boy now.
You could add that into the bit that you do.
I'm a big boy now.
Yeah, funny. But yeah, I think, to be honest, it probably puts some people off in the way they've been treated by other comics and other people that like, they'll go up to them and like sort of say, "Oh, can I get a photo?" And they'll just be constant to them. And I've seen it happen. I'm like, why?
I don't think it's just that, though. I
No,
think,
of course it's not just that.
To be honest, until performing myself, I was the type of person who would have never approached an act of anything because I'd have just thought, I don't want to bother them. They're going about the business. I don't want to bother them. It's only since like getting positive feedback myself, I realise how like valuable it is because obviously we work together a lot, like doing the pod every week.
Sorry to cut you off, but also some people just don't care as well.
Yeah.
Some people will just watch the pod and they'll go, I'll go and see him, but they don't really care about speaking to you afterwards and stuff, and that's also fine. But
no, I think like, I mean, I'm the type of person who, as a fan of podcasts and stuff, I'd always like to, but anyway, the point I was trying to make is until I started performing myself, I realised how valuable feedback is because especially like something like stand-up, obviously we've got a good friendship. I fucking hated saying that out loud, by the way. But like
obsessed with me,
yeah, I fucking love him. See him every week. But sometimes you can't help but feel like an island. It's just you and your thoughts, and you're in your own head, and you like, you know, sometimes you'll smash a gig, sometimes it's a bit stinky, and you're just always constantly chasing that last best gig you ever had, aren't you? And it's very easy to feel like an island. And I think just the littlest bit of feedback can actually like. Bet
yours is Epstein's, you little gimp.
Try to be sincere, it's what.
Yeah, I know, but it made me uncomfortable. So I had to call you a nonce and a joke. It wasn't even a good joke. It wasn't even a joke. It was poorly delivered. Didn't have any. It wasn't like, you know, worded very well. Yeah, just honestly. But anyway, just needed to stop you from doing what you were doing. Makes me uncomfortable. When I'm sincere, like I don't feel like it's icky in my head. But then when I see you do it, I bet it make you uncomfortable.
Do you get what I'm saying though? Since being a performer, I even hate saying that.
See what I mean? It's awful. Should we do some features? This is awful.
Since being a performer, have you ever like changed your approach when going to, like, if you've been to a show or anything like that? Have you like?
Not especially. When I went to see Harry Mack, the opening act was like dynamite, and they'd obviously gone, because it's Harry Mack, I bet they watch him every night because it's always different. And the opening acts were great, and I was at the bar getting a drink, and they ended up beside me and I just sort of chatted to them for a second, and like, you know, was friendly enough and told them it was great. So because it was, and they were dead sound. But yeah, not especially. I think I just sort of act the same and stuff. But
I went to see a musical this week. Which I know
so did I. Can I talk about my musical when you're done? I'm sorry, it's the best.
And it was class. Like I'm not like a big sort of musical or theatre guy, and I don't know why. Because when I'm there, I quite clearly am, and I should go to more. And
mate, I'm getting so into it.
I got dragged along. I didn't even really want to go. It was my mum had got tickets.
Up,
no, I genuinely didn't. It was for it was a show called Blood Brothers. It was on the West End for years. It's a really old musical, but it's set in Liverpool, so it's very popular amongst Scouse nans. Do you know what I mean? My nan fucking loved it, and that's why my mum was like, my mum and my nan actually had tickets to go see it the day of her funeral. Like, you know, mum was supposed to go with her, so she was like, I really want to see it for your nan. Will you just come with us? And I was like, oh, you fucking pulled the nan card on me. I've got to go. I can't say no. And mate, I fucking loved it. Like at the end, I was like stood up going, whoa! Like, cause like people are clapping a bit. And I'm like, oh, some people are stood up, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
How are you not?
They were sick. Like, get up.
Moment,
like, and then eventually everyone does start like getting up, but I'm like straight there, like, woo! Oh, Jack called me Whoopi Goldberg because I was like, woo!
Well, it's funny you mentioned Whoopi Goldberg. I've just booked to see. So I went to see. I think I mentioned this last week. I went to see Madagascar. The musical.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Mate, it was fucking
when you mentioned
sick.
it, I didn't realise it was like so close. We actually went on the same night, you know.
Well, we only booked it the weekend before. We saw an advertisement for it. Beth checked to see what tickets there was and just booked it like in a taxi. Yeah. As we drove past the advertisement, it was booked 5 minutes later. But I think I'm going to become a little theatre nonce. I fucking loved it. And they're so cheap, and there's really not any bad seats. You can be a bit far back and stuff, but we got our tickets from Madagascar for 13 quid each, and we fucking loved it. Granted, we looked like the biggest paedophiles on the planet. We were the only couple there without a child. I felt like Cal on the Titanic when he's like, I have a child! I have a child! It feels so eggy. Everyone around us, like kids everywhere and stuff. And then at one point, a kid next to us started like crying. And I was like, will you shut up? I'm trying to watch Madagascar. I just
dressed as fucking King Julian on the back row.
King Julian came out, mate. The ovation he got, it was sick. It was so good. It was literally just appeared out of nowhere and just like, obviously, well, I say out of nowhere, stage left. But as soon as he came on, the fucking place erupted, mate. And it was so cool. And there's like fucking dads around us, like with a face on. They've only come because their kid wants to. Yeah. And it was the first movie. So they done a play of the first movie.
Is the film a musical? Like I've only kind of watched
not
it.
at all. So they
right.
they don't sing. They have a couple of songs within it and
but
stuff.
This was a musical, was it?
Yeah. And it done my head in a little bit, to be honest, because like you said, if they don't get it properly right, then I'm going to be fuming. Like at one point, Melman said they were on the truck. They were on the ship in the box in like the trailer box thing, and that's when they end up. Getting
you got it. You got it right straight away in the ship on the box.
Yeah,
and then you clarified trailer box thing.
Yeah. But they were in that, and he goes, I always get a bit woozy when I'm having a CAT scan. And that's not the line. It's when I'm having an MRI. And she goes, you're not having an MRI. And he goes, CAT scan? And so I was like, you got it wrong. You're getting it right. I genuinely, right, I might audition for this because I could turn up tonight and wouldn't need to learn any lines whatsoever. I'd just fucking nail it right away. And they didn't do it. It's got to get going. They didn't do that line at the end with the bigger clown. They didn't do that. I was fuming.
This is why they wouldn't cast you, because you try and play every part. They're your background dancer.
Well, this is it. I was fuming because the zebra wasn't believable. Mate, he was shit, you know. I didn't like him, and he's like the main protagonist as well. And he's like, but he was crap though. He just didn't do any of the inflections and stuff. Like Matt.
He wasn't Chris Rock in it enough.
No, but like Marty's like quite sturdy. He's like fucking, he's passionate about what he believes in, and then this guy was just a bit like floozy and.
You did your English
and Rico,
fucking film studies coursework on Madagascar here.
Mate, Rico the penguin was played by a woman. Rico got introduced as Rico, played by a woman.
It's fine, isn't it? I don't discriminate. Me, all right, J.K. Rowling. Fuck
yeah, that's it, innit? Yeah. It was just done my head in a little bit. They just didn't get certain things right. However, mate, it went off. It went off. They were at the end, right? It was like they were playing "I like to move it," and like the King Julian came out and they did all their bows and stuff. Again, the ovation King Julian got was outrageous. I felt bad for all these castmates. King Julian's a boy, mate. And he came back out and they did all the thing. He said, "Manchester, this is our opening night. Thank you so much for being here. But are you ready to party one more time?" He just played all like, oh mate, my head was falling. He's so
at
sick.
the end, and you're all dancing,
and everyone's leaving. Yeah. Everyone's leaving because they want to beat traffic and all this sort of stuff. Oh, mate, I was there till the end. I watched the curtain hit the floor. Yeah. I watched it go all the way down. I was like, I'm fucking staying. I paid.
That actually burns my head out at anything, any event, especially sports. Mental. Sports, like, your team might be losing. It could turn around. Anything can happen. Yeah. Why are you fucking going?
Can I tell you a little life hack for people? Because I don't think enough people know it. And it feels so obvious to me. And I don't know whether it's like, there will be obviously people that know about it. But it does feel obvious to me. And I don't know whether it's just because we're in the industry, I guess. But if you go to a gig and the artist goes on stage, unless the lights come on within a second, just stay in your seats because they're coming back on. It's going to be the encore. When those house lights come on, that's when you should leave. The amount of gigs I go to where the artist goes off and everyone just starts leaving, and then he or she will come back on 20 seconds later, and everyone starts trying to scramble to get back to the seats, but now no one's letting them, and it's just all a big like fucking drama. Unless the house lights come on, just stay where you are. The gig's not done. It's not over, unless you're hating it, which, fair enough, fuck off, whatever.
Same applies to movies, man. Like, all the fucking Marvel films have a post-credit scene, and you've got people, and you're like, these have been coming out for, 10 years. Do you not know that there's more to it? Again, grow up. I'm watching Captain America in the back with me popcorn.
As you should. I'm watching Madagascar. Anyway, point being, I've become a proper theatre nonce. We booked tickets to see Sister Act. You mentioned Whoopi Goldberg.
I've not seen it. I've never seen Sister Act.
You've never seen Sister Act?
Just seeing a nun.
Beth's not seen it.
When you're a kid, you judge like a DVD or a film by its cover, don't you? And just seeing a nun just didn't really like.
Can I tell you what the nun is? The nun is like fucking. The nun is Whoopi Goldberg, and she's not really a nun. So do you know the plot at all?
No.
So the plot is, how long have we done?
And let me guess, just by the title of it, though. Go on. Is she pretending to be a nun then?
Fucking
Sister Act. Oh my god, she's acting as a sister.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So she works in Queens in New York, and she's like, I think it's like, it could be anywhere else, but it's like Atlantic City, Vegas-y style, like Reno. I think it's Reno actually. And she works as a singer in like these proper horrible pubs, but she's like a fairly sort of successful singer, and she's in high demand in this thing. But her boyfriend's mental. I'm trying to remember it all because I've not seen it in years and years. Me and Beth are going to watch it soon because I've just paid 55 quid for tickets. Yeah. So her boyfriend's like mental, and he like tries to kill her and of all his like gangbanger friends. So she gets put in witness protection as a nun.
Hold on, he wants to kill her and gangbanger friends. When was this made?
His gangbanger friends.
Oh, okay.
I
was like, what? Like he wants to shag a
key,
mate.
So he wants to kill her. He wants to fuck her up. So she gets put in witness protection in a convent because no one's ever going to suspect that the type of person she is now going to be in there.
Okay.
And obviously she can wear the thing and she doesn't because she's got huge hair. Whoopi Goldberg, she's got huge hair. She can wear the...
I don't know what it's called. I'm trying to think now. Nunhead.
Overalls.
Let's just say nunhead.
She can wear the equipment and...
You fucking nunhead.
Yeah.
Is that a haircut you can get? Because the nunhead. Just squaring it off.
Yeah, that is literally me if I just shaved my head and had it like Drake style with my big forehead, the white forehead, and then yeah.
Shut up, you fucking nunhead.
So she goes into that, but obviously because of the type of singer she is, she just reinvents the choir. But it's so sick, you know. It's so sick, and she gets a lot of pushback.
Do the rest of the nuns know that she's
okay? So they think she's like travelled from another convent and shit. But she like starts to leak in her ways into the, and so she's like a bad influence in the mall. She gets a lot of pushback, and it is just make the
You gonna say pussy then? No. She gets a lot of puss.
No, famously they don't like that. I mean, maybe they do, but they're just not allowed it.
They're married to God, but yeah. What's Sister Act 2 about then?
So I think she works as a music teacher in a school. I think that's what it was. But I think it's probably better than the songs are just so good.
The second one's better.
Potentially, I can't really remember them. Me and Beth are going to watch both of them. But yeah, it's she works as like a music teacher in a school, and she's helping the kids as they come up because they've got all their adolescent issues that you would have.
Yeah.
Like puberty and fucking boys and all that sort of
dreams
shit.
And that.
Yeah, wet dreams and yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah. What dream was? I've never had a wet dream, you know.
I think I had one when I was a kid, or I pissed myself. Either or.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know
what I think it was? Right, I think I pissed myself, and I remember I was in like late primary school.
You woke up like I'm a boy.
No, I didn't really. I just told. I didn't know. It was before knowing about like wanking or sex or anything. And I said to my mum like, I think I've wet the bed, and my mum might have said something like, was it wet or was it a bit? Don't worry, was it wet or was it a bit sticky? Like she was trying to get it out of me, and I just went. Yeah, sticky to try and blend that I hadn't pissed, and it was this other thing. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, gross. I don't think I've ever had one. I was just always fucking other people's wives, so I was never horny enough. Even from a young age. It
just makes no sense to me. Can we talk about something else?
Should we do some features?
Just before we do, I just want to ask you another question about musicals. What was the? I'm sorry, it's a new thing. It's a new lane for me. What was your audience like? Obviously, it was kids. Did that take you out of it? Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, and there was a couple behind us, and like the dad had just such a face on, and I'm getting dead excited and stuff, and being a child about the whole thing.
He had a face on.
Yeah,
fucking gross.
Joe, you just know you're being judged. It's like, but I'm judging you. Why are you not just getting miserable into it? Yeah, and also I just think that I'm probably going to become a little theatre nonce. It's a bit Tory, but it's also not because it's so cheap.
Yeah,
like we paid 26 quid a ticket. We drove in. We paid our parking, which was like £6. And we just took snacks in with us because we are fucking broke. And so yeah, you're talking like fucking 30 quid, something like that.
It's not
the
bad
cinema's
at all.
more.
Yeah.
And you're getting like this full stage production. It's sick. We had
People
such a
are more
wholesome
invested,
night.
aren't they? So.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? We had a school like a school trip in ours, and they to their credit, for a bunch of fucking teenagers, like on a late night school trip, they were all right. But there was like a really shocking moment that had a lot of emotional weight in the play, and it was really surprising, like a surprise.
Yeah.
And the shock of the surprise made them like laugh because they were kids.
Yeah.
And it was just really like frustrating that we'd all like it was but it takes you out the play because they're giggling, and it made me think, how are the performers? Like, how must it be for them? So they're having to stay like in this because it wasn't. Where did you go? The Palace.
Opera House.
I just went like a little theatre in New Brighton called the Floral Pavilion. So
right,
it's
only little, and
it's not a big room. It's decent, but it's not like a massive production. And I just proper felt for like the actors at that moment.
Yeah.
They still nailed it. Yeah,
they'd be aight. They'd be aight. I felt bad for the woman that had to play the hippo in Madagascar. Because that's a rough day, innit? Yeah. That's a rough day, regardless of why
you thought you were hot in fucking Leicester.
Yeah, but then also just like imagine, oh yeah, you've got a call back. We want you to play the hippo.
Yeah,
that's never ideal, is it? But I auditioned for Melman. Yeah, but you're not believable because he's skinny. You're just not believable as the giraffe. Oh, that's bad.
I'll put the fucking grey leotard.
And she was wearing like a huge fat suit, to be fair. But this is the point. Like, you're not, even if you're not overweight, you're still gonna be like, I'm the hippo. I'm the hippo. I want it to be the penguin. I want it to be the smiling wave boys. Yeah. I want it to be like
nice, easy roll. Just they're not a big roll, are they? The penguins.
Just
like a little walk on it.
No,
really.
They are a big roll.
I don't know.
Mate, don't start pissing me off.
Look, before we do features,
they're a key point of the film. The reason Marty leaves and gets up in the position is, and the reason he ends up in Madagascar is because of the penguins.
You should pen a fucking essay on this film, mate. You seem to be well into the. But do you know, as much as we enjoyed these musicals, can you imagine if we went to like the open mic equivalent of that? How awkward and horrible that would be.
Like students playing like Hamilton or something.
Like you've got one who's like got potential and a future and you're like, they're sick, and then you've got the other and you're like, why is this 70-year-old fella not figured out that this isn't the right path for him?
We're all thinking of the comic, aren't we? We're thinking of a specific comic. Let's do some features.
I've got some today.
Yeah, I know you told me before the record, but you know, at least we blended it and made it look like we hadn't already discussed it.
Give you a break. So
I appreciate it because I had a lot to say today, and I don't want to say anything anymore.
Right.
I want you to do all the reading. What have you got?
This is a fairly long. I've got a couple. All right, I'll throw them out to you. I've got. Am I the arsehole for not paying for my daughter-in-law's travel because she insists on her independence and won't take our family name? Ooh, familial.
Okay, that sounds wordy. That.
It's quite weirdy.
Today I'm the arsehole for making a title too long. Yeah.
Next one. Today I fucked up pretending to be asleep.
Okay.
That's vague. And today I fucked up when I... No, that one's shite.
Okay, I'm so glad you saved it.
I'm literally just going to read
pretending to be asleep, because in my mind, he's pretending to be asleep and his missus has got like fucked beside him or something.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot that could be happening. Or maybe like... I don't know, he was getting burgled and they ended up like bombing him because he thought he was asleep.
Well, don't spoil it, lad.
Yeah, have I figured it out? Imagine that's what it is now.
So today I fucked up. Today I fucked up pretending to be asleep. October 2023, my dorm room. I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of my roommate fooling around with another guy. My roommate was someone who would describe himself as introverted, socially awkward, unattractive, alone, etc. You know, he went hard on him.
Did you live with him?
I am him. Since the beginning of our roommate relationship, I'd never seen him show an interest in dating anyone. On the rare occasions when he was willing to go out with me, he'd usually just avoid interacting with the opposite sex. So I always assumed he was just shy, which he was, but it never occurred to me that he might be attracted to guys. Back to my dorm. I was pretending to be asleep because I didn't really know how to respond in that situation or how my roommate would feel if he got caught in the act. This was uncharted territory. As silly as it sounds, I didn't want to assume my roommate was openly gay or bi because he was low-key hooking up with a random guy right next to me. So I reacted by not reacting at all. I'll admit it was an awkward situation, not just because I could hear them whispering and kissing and moaning and all kinds of other noises that made it clear to me that both guys were really into each other, but also because I was lying on my side for too long and my arm was beginning to go numb. I was forced to switch sides and face the action, but my eyes were still closed. At that moment, I heard one of them whisper, "Bro, I thought your roommate was like, I don't know, Asian." I suddenly opened my eyes and noticed two random naked guys in my roommate's bed. Both of
Fuck off.
Both of them were too high and horny to realise they were in the wrong dorm until it was too late.
Oh my God.
If the two of them didn't whisper the whole fucking time, I probably would have picked up that none of them sounded like my roommate. The gay guys apologised for canvassing my roommate's bed in fuck fluids and took off. I changed the sheets and cleaned up the mess before my actual roommate returned to his bed in the early hours of the morning.
He's a hero. He's a hero. I'd never do that for you. I wouldn't even tell you. And it'd only be when you get in the bed and you go, "Why is this a bit wet?" I'd be like,
I pretend to be asleep for a week just to avoid that situation. So where was I? Sorry. I changed the sheets and cleaned up the mess before my actual roommate returned to his bed in the early hours of the morning after apparently working most of the night. I was not his favourite person when I explained to him what happened. I never forgot to lock my dorm since that night, and my roommate is still reminding me that I owe him brand new bed sheets.
That is mental.
I don't know if he fucked up.
I mean, I think I would just pretend to be asleep, because what's the alternative?
Yeah,
I'm not going to go out, but I also don't want them to know I'm awake.
Yeah.
But I'm not leaving. It's 2 a.m.
I didn't think so much of that. Like, does that make you a pervert? if you know that's going on. So are you the pervert for knowing that's going on next to you and being awake and pretending to be asleep? Or are they the perverts for knowing you're in the room and starting something and not caring? Or is everyone a pervert in this situation?
Yeah, but are you gay if you just see a man's cock?
I'm not talking about gayness.
No, but generally, just like, are you gay if you see a man's cock? You can't help
call
what's
me gay,
happening.
baby, because I've seen millions.
But you can't help what's happening beside him.
No, but that's not the point. I'm not saying like, oh, don't look, because it's. I think he had good intentions in that. I think he kept quiet because his mate is nervous, and he was like, "Go on, get some." Yeah. But does that not make you a pervert?
No,
if you're aware that stuff's going on next.
No,
to
because
you.
like I say, I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Jordan Belfort throws a midget at him.
Send me this fucking pen, lad.
Yeah. I'm not leaving. So, and I don't want them to know that I'm awake.
It's your dorm room.
Yeah, I'm not leaving at 3 a.m. But it is mental. Like if my not openly gay roommate is just getting drilled by another bloke, I would find it quite tricky to just pretend that that's not happening behind me.
Absolute truth.
And I also don't know if I love someone just like having sex next to me anyway. Like, but and then it's a dorm room in college, isn't it? I've only ever like had separate rooms with anyone I've lived with, so like I don't know.
And that must be like a common thing in places like that. Like I've never had a shared. Like I lived away for uni, we got a house straight away. I've never had like a shared room or anything. One holiday actually, I don't know who's in the wrong for this one as well. Like I went to Amsterdam with the lads when I was younger, and I'm just going to call them Mate 1 and Mate 2 to protect their identities.
Okay.
But Mate 2, we got like our room, the heating broke and it was like snowy. It was middle of July, so they upgraded us to like the best room there. But the caveat was that 2 of us had to sleep in a shit room. So we all like flipped a coin, and I was one of the cunts who got the shit room with another mate. That was fine. So, but in the boss room, we were on a night out. Mate 1 pulled an Australian girl, which isn't irrelevant to the, which is irrelevant to what I'm asking you, but I just like that fact.
Right, you went down under. All right. All right.
Good day.
Eating pussy.
So he pulled the Australian girl and went back early. And then when the other lads went to come back home, the door was locked and they couldn't get into the room, and it's cold outside, man. And they had to come up to our shitty little room.
It's cold outside.
And one mate was fuming at the other one for locking the room because he was getting some. And the mate who locked the room didn't see what the problem was. Whose side are you on in that situation?
If you're in first, like, yeah, I'm locking the door. If I get back with a girl,
but all the beds are in there, and it's cold outside.
So I don't want anyone. The point is, I've locked the door because I don't want anyone to come in. He can't then be annoyed that what I wanted to happen has happened.
Yeah.
Like, he's tried to get in and he's not been able to because I locked the door because I didn't want him to come in.
Yeah.
So of course, like, no one's in the wrong. Like, I understand the point he's making. He wanted to get in, but he's lying to himself if he said he wouldn't lock the door as well.
That was like, I backed that too.
He managed to rizzer up quicker than he did.
Yeah. I think it was.
So he got back earlier.
And that's probably the real reason of his rage.
Yeah.
But I backed what he did because, you got to support your mates in that situation. Yeah. I get it. They weren't out in the cold, really, because even though we had a little shitty 2-bedroom, they had somewhere to come up and get warm and disturb me. I'd take a fucking bullet, if my mate's getting laid. I'm used to that. But I also, like, just to add insult to injury as well, this girl and me mate drank the other lad's whiskey. Like, drank his drink on him as well. So we fucking came home fuming. But yeah, I was just curious whether you'd back the shag air or the shaggy.
Whoever's back it first he owns all the cards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've got no one back there and you just lock the room because you went to the posh wank on holiday, then you're a dickhead, aren't you?
I mean,
but you've got to support a mate in that situation, haven't you? Like, So.
Yeah, you can't be mad. You can't be mad. Just fucking, you're in Amsterdam, just find anywhere else.
That's warm.
Yeah.
With a bed in it.
Yeah. Not even a bed. I'd do it on the floor if needs be. Yeah.
Park bench.
In memorial bench. In memory of XYZ, who was just sit here on sunny days.
I'm going to do this next one, the one I read out before, and it is a bit of a wordy one. I'm just curious to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So,
let's do it.
Am I the arsehole for not paying for my daughter-in-law's travel because she insists on her independence and won't take our family name?
So much. I don't even know what his problem is. Just read it and I'll figure it out as we go. I've not taken. All I heard was family name.
I'm a 60-year-old father of 3. Oh my God, I already hate this. It's the way he's written this, sorry. I'm a 60-year-old father of 3 with 2 sons aged 32 and 28 and a daughter 22. The issue involves my middle son and my daughter-in-law. During their wedding planning 6 months ago, she made it clear she values her independence and feminism, opting not to take our family's last name to maintain her identity. I respect her decision despite our family tradition favouring the sharing of surname. I genuinely appreciate her. She's a wonderful partner for my son, albeit sometimes her strong opinions and idealistic views seem to overlook her privilege. Our family vacations have been on pause due to COVID and significant life events. With finances not being an issue for us, fucking prick.
He's such an arrogant twat end, isn't he?
With finances not being an issue for us, my wife and I have traditionally covered these trips. There have been expectations of these trips, such as prioritising family time and activities over personally preferred activities. This year, we're planning a bit of a more luxurious trip to the Maldives. However, my son's partner...
I have such a disdain for people that have money. I watched Dragon's Den the other day, and I love watching Dragon's Den, because when they haven't got a pattern, the look on their face is fantastic. But, like...
Just ask the answer another question, don't they?
Beth actually said the reason that came to me so quick then is because Beth said, "Why do you enjoy it so much?" And I said, quick as a flash, the look on their face when they don't have a pattern is so funny. And she was like, "That's the most artistic thing you've ever said." But I love it. But I absolutely despise watching that show and just watching like them laugh. There's something about old rich cunts laughing that just ignites such a rage within me. Like, why are you enjoying this? Because it's just very like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Carry on.
No, I already hate this guy for admittedly saying he has money. And he's going the Maldives. Sorry. Right. He did name oh God, I fucked this up. Hold on a sec.
It's all right. The sun will come out tomorrow. I just don't want to cut this, so I'm going to fill the silence. There's your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
However, my daughter-in-law has been assertively expressing her desire to break from tradition evident during their wedding. She opted out of typical customs like flower girls and mother-son dance and being walked down the aisle by her father. Although I funded the wedding, I kept the feelings to myself, and after my son requested not to add to their stress... Yeah, that's the sentence. I didn't. I said it right. I didn't appreciate the.
I'm so glad you're appreciating now how fucking annoying these are to read out.
Yeah, they do. That last one was pretty well written, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was actually brilliantly written. Kudos.
Carry on.
I didn't appreciate the communication style that was used and told my son, who said he would relay this feedback to her. I felt she was rather rude to my wife, who was sad she wouldn't be partaking in a mother-son dance, i.e. not understanding why she would be sad there wouldn't be a dance. For the upcoming trip, I've considered stating that I'll only cover expenses for those bearing our last name. After my daughter-in-law's continuous emphasis on independence and breaking from tradition, I felt this was a reasonable stance. I was discussing this with my son, who asked if I could cover their expenses this time. I thought about it and decided not to. I declined. My rationale is that his wife's firm stance on independence should extend to navigating the repercussions of their decisions, financial ones included. My son is disappointed and my wife believes I'm being overly rigid, arguing that family support transcends proving a point. I'm torn between respecting my daughter-in-law's independence and wanting to assist them. Am I the arsehole if I decide to not pay for her portion of the family trip due to her insistence on independence and refusal to adopt our family's surname?
Is that the whole thing? Mm-hmm. First of all, how old is he?
60.
Why are you on Reddit, you absolute nonce? What are you on Reddit for? Just finding out like the local news. What the fuck's
I know what
wrong
I'll
with
do.
you?
I'll ask all these paws what they think of me. Yeah.
You're planning holidays to the Maldives and you're on Reddit as if you're going to find people that fucking
because his fucking family won't talk to him. Lad, because he's such a fucking cunt.
Okay, right. So a few things. Why is she? I hate everything about this. Why is it like? Why is he saying he respects her wishes, but then intentionally leaving her out of the whole
punishing
thing?
Her for her wishes.
Punishing her for her wishes. But at the same time, you could argue, well, it's his wishes, and the only reason she's doing it from like a feminism point of view, and we are entering into a world now where if Beth didn't want to, take my name and stuff, fine, absolutely not. that's entirely her decision. I won't be bothered and stuff. And you know, there's a lot of people with like really traditional views. And the further we go into like the new generation, the less people are taking each other's name and less traditional things become. And that's because I think it's absolutely fucking insane how weddings have worked in the past. Hang on, what's this whole? I would ask Beth's dad if you know, if I'm allowed to take her hand in marriage and stuff. But the mere idea that you have to ask is insane.
Yeah,
is absolutely bonkers, isn't it? I would, because that's the tradition, and her dad would appreciate it and stuff. But ultimately, his response doesn't really mean anything.
I asked Beck's dad, he was like, please.
Yeah, because she's not going to find anyone else. She's mental. But then the whole like giving you away. A lot of the wedding traditionals, like, they're very odd. They're very odd views. They're very outdated. They don't really make any sense.
Isn't that all tradition, though? Isn't that what tradition is? Holding on to the past and neglecting to move forward.
But like sometimes the past is like very odd. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not your job to get, like, if you have a kid and she's a girl, like it's not you don't own her. Yeah. You just happen to have had a child. I find the whole like asking for my... Anyway, if don't want to take a name, that's absolutely fine. She's obviously quite a proud person. She's obviously quite got these feminist views and all that shit. And I understand.
You've just backed her up completely with your sound, but I just love like the difference between what you're saying and the language you're using. Yeah, she's got all the feminist views and all that shit.
But it's not because I disagree. It's because I'm a spaz and I'm uneducated. I'm too thick to have decent wordplay, to have a decent vocabulary. So I use filler words like fuck and shit.
That's the most intelligent thing you've ever said. That was pretty insightful.
Thanks. I worked on it all day. But like, I don't know. He's clearly said that he's got the money. He's just doing this so he can feel like he's got something to do. Yeah. That's all. That's the only reason he's doing it. Yeah. Like, if she doesn't want to take the name and stuff, then I can understand him saying, well, you don't get the privileges of us as a family. But she's still part of the family. Why's she got to have your name? It's weirdly culty.
Yeah. Do you know what it said to me? It says to me that he paid for the wedding just so he could use that as a weapon. Because if he had this much umbrage with their decisions...
Just a loser. Just a loser. Just get a fucking life. Beth bought me a book for Christmas because I asked her for more books, right? And she bought me this book. It's called A Man Called Ove, and apparently it's been made into a movie and stuff now. I'm 16 pages into it, and I put it down because a guy...
A Man Called Hove? Is it about Jay-Z?
A Man Called Ove. O-V-E.
Oh, sounds shit.
But it's really heartwarming, and it's about this grumpy old man who's got issues with everyone and stuff like that. She said, you can probably relate to a lot of this, so you can have it.
He's dried up, his dick doesn't work, he stinks of shit. Yeah, ticking all the boxes.
So she was like, you can probably relate to a lot of this. I'm like 16 pages in. The guy's a gimp, bro. He's like leaving notes on cars saying, oh, I thought about parking better. He's like constantly curtain switching. And I'm supposed to like relate to this guy, fuming. Yeah. Fuming, she had the nerve to say that, but she just read the blurb where he's grumpy and annoyed. And she's like, oh, like this new young guy's moved in across the road from his house, and he's like jogging a lot, and he's like fuming about it. He's just an angry little virgin. Just shut up. It's just these old people that got too much time on their hands. You're thinking about going to the Maldives, and you're just desperate to find an issue with something in your life. Yeah. You could have such an easy life. So easy. Just so chilled. You don't have to worry about anything. He is in the top 1% of people on the planet. He just is. If he can afford to take his family to the Maldives, which realistically is going to cost about 6,000, 7,000 per couple, but they're also saying it's luxurious. So he's probably spending like 10 grand per couple. He's probably dropping like maybe 50, 60K on a holiday. Yeah. So you're in the top 1% of people, and you're just finding something to have wrong in your life. Yeah. Get a fucking, stop being a fucking loser. Like, does it ever bother you? I've been fuming about this all week.
Just laughing because I feel like I've just slipped a soapbox on the end with this submission, and now I'm just fucking go on.
But does it not bother you at the minute? Like, because it's bothered me loads this week.
By the way, sorry, I just thought, Aaron hates rich people. Let's look at the reaction out of him.
I'm getting proper fuming at the minute about the fact that like I could have been born into any family in any country on the planet. Like I could have been born in Australia and spent my days just on the beach surfing with bikini-clad women, but I'm living in Oldham. Mate. Does that not fuck you up every day?
Mate, the play I saw, Blood Brothers, is about this. Genuinely buy tickets to see it. Okay. It's literally like the premise is two twins like separated at birth, one with a rich family, one with a poor family, and you just see how different their lives are whilst intersecting. It fucking makes you angry at the class system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
But does that not fuck you up every day? Like, there's people that live on yachts and they've done nothing to get it. They're just born into a family that have a yacht. So they live on a yacht and that's their life. And they just get to live on a yacht and they have like Lamborghinis and
what's
shit.
The point?
And like, there's people out there that live in Sken. Does that not fuck you up though?
Nah, because what's the point in thinking
And these
about
cunts are the people that have I'll keep asking you questions and not letting you answer.
Do you never look back though? Do you never just reflect on your life and go, well, at least I don't live in Scam? Do you never like look at the positives?
Well, yeah, because I suppose it could always be worse. You could be living in these horrible places that are getting, you know, they're at war with each other and stuff. But like, what fucks me up the most is like, just because it could be worse doesn't mean you can't be mad that it's not better.
I know.
But like, these are the people that make our decisions. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That make decisions for us. These rich fucking Tory cunts. He's American. He probably doesn't have any belt on me. He doesn't have any effect on my life whatsoever. But like, these fucking horrible Tory cunts are the reason that like our lives are the way they are. They make the decisions. They're the reason that I can't afford this because this is expensive. Fucking. I just hate people that just better than other people.
If you blow up as a comedian, you're going to become everything you hate, and I can't wait to watch it.
I'm genuinely not, though. I was watching Dragon's Den the other day.
Can't wait to watch you in the Maldives.
I was watching, well, yeah, I go to the Maldives, but I'm not going to be that fucking guy that's like, you can't come with me because you don't want my name. Fuck off. No, you can all come with me because we're all just going to enjoy this together. This guy's a fucking loser. You want to go to the Maldives, but you want to just single somebody out.
It's literally a weapon. Like I said, like if he disagreed with their views, I was saying before, if he disagreed with their views, he had the opportunity to go, well, I'm not paying for the wedding. But he did. So quite clearly he was able to see past it because he did pay for the wedding. But now he's just using
like
that.
Fuming about the whole
like,
thing.
well, I did this, so I refuse to do anything else for you.
She's got her opinions, and it sounds like she might be quite tricky to live with and converse with because she's so strong-willed and strong-minded. But ultimately, that's the person your son has chosen.
Yeah.
And just leaving her out is just going to create this huge divide that doesn't need to be within your family and just makes your life tricky for no reason.
Yeah.
You've got all this money in the world. Just fucking let everyone go. And if you don't want to hang out with her when you're there, that's fine. And he doesn't have to pay for the holiday.
Is that even weirder though if he fucking ghosts her on the holiday?
No, because I wouldn't want to hang out with him anyway. I'd be buzzing if he ghosted me. Just pay for my trip to the Maldives and then leave me alone because you're a fucking loser.
If you take this story, this is obviously an upper class story, and you place it in a lower class environment, like you're not coming to real. I don't like your views and your decisions.
You're not coming camping. You're like sound.
Fucking sound, yeah.
Yeah,
Ponton Southport can fuck off. I'm not asked me, lad. That's sick.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine Best Dad says. Oh, no, I was going to say my dad, but he's not around. The other way it works if I say my dad. But imagine Best Dad says, oh, we don't agree with your views, so you're not coming on the family holiday. Oh, why not? That's horrible. You're just not coming. Where are you even going? You've not even mentioned. Oh, we're actually going camping in the Lake District in the winter. All right.
Sick. Yeah, buzzing.
Well, you guys enjoy yourself then. Yeah, sound.
Just chilling with your backbone, playing fucking Red Dead.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I won't even need my backbone. I'm at home still. Just play it on the Xbox. Yeah, I don't know. He's just ultimately they're both allowed to do whatever they want. It can't be one rule for her and one rule for him. If she's really strong-willed and passionate about something, then he can be as well. But the point is, she's really passionate about it for reasons that make more sense than his. He's just being a little pussy boy that's like fuming because he feels that his culty little that she's not part of the family because she doesn't have the name. The name means fuck all.
And if you're 60 years old and you're asking a forum whether you're an asshole or not,
it is mental, isn't it? It is mental. Have you thought about, I don't know, asking your child? Asking your family, asking the family that you're going with. Hey guys, I'm thinking about this.
But they all said I was an asshole, so I just thought I'd ask
I just thought I'd ask people that only have my side of the story that I'm at, so they can just get this confirmation bias that I'm the one that's in the right. Fuck off. I wish you'd save the comments.
I was going to say, I didn't actually look at the comments.
What the comments saying?
Let me find the comments.
Find the comments super quick.
You
watch me do a 180 when I realise I'm the one wrong. Let's have a look. The comments are like, no, she sounds like a bitch. And I'm like, you know what? I've always thought
that. 2 secs. We'll just pause. Got this, can't we?
Record scratch.
I like the idea of you saying that instead of it actually being a record scratch. It's just you voiceover, record scratch.
It's easier than inserting them, and it's an ugly sound anyway. It just works.
Right, so I've found it, and the first comment says your post has been removed. So they must have had something pleasant to say.
You're like, you horrible Tory cod. Just take her to the Maldives, you fucking arrogant, incessant arsewipe. And I've gone, that's broke some community guidelines.
What does YTA mean?
You're the
Not down on
arsehole.
kids. Wow, you really are white. It says, wow, you are really YTA.
Come on, no, I was right. Close the map book. We're done.
But hold on, wow, you are really you the arsehole. Like, it's a bad
it's just-
sentence. But the way you've presented this, you're making it clear that you're withholding the vacation funds is all about punishing your daughter-in-law for making different decisions.
Come on, the boys.
They
That's
go.
what I said,
They
but
go
not
at
as
him.
clear.
Your reasons are small and pathetic. So what if she didn't take your surname? Is your ego really that fragile? And let's be honest, this is all about your ego.
Come on, the boys.
Fucking still going,
love
mate.
that woman,
It's
mate.
understandable that your wife was disappointed that there was no mother-son dance, but this is something you get disappointed about for an hour or two and then you get over it.
Tell him.
Disagree with that. I get why she was disappointed and that's fine, but ultimately it's not her wedding. Do you know what I mean? You need to butt out of their relationship. How they handle their finances and naming their children is their business.
I forgot about that, about how he had loads of opinions on their finances. Forgot about that. It's a good job I did, because we'd still be here 20 minutes later.
Don't tell
I'd have
me
had more to
how
say.
I like to spend my money.
Yeah.
So what if I got a yo-yo to do tricks and then give up after a week? It's my fucking money. That happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, that felt too real.
That happened.
I'm just glad that I was that somebody else agrees with me. All I've got you to do is read the comments so I can get the confirmation bias that I wasn't wrong.
No, mate, they fucking get over yourself and your sad, pathetic ego and cover your daughter-in-law's expenses the same way you
I'd love the idea that he's just deleted Reddit afterwards and gone, I'm not, well, they're not right.
Yeah, well, I really was the arsehole. Do you reckon he's changed?
No. And do you know what? If he's not, I'd do a 180 and back the guy 100%. If he gets all those comments and just goes, sound, you're still not coming.
My money! He just starts counting it. Do you imagine him just sat at his desk with fucking 5 gold rings and Rolex?
Yeah.
He looks like the Monopoly man with a fucking cigar in his mouth.
He sounds like a fucking loser. And I'm so glad that woman was more intellectual at telling him off than I was. But yeah, this was a fun one.
Enjoyed it.
We have got huge news coming in next week's episode. Is it next week's episode?
It will be next
week's episode. We've got huge news, and we can't wait to share it with you. We're absolutely buzzing. We're gonna take year 3 by the arms. By arms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna go more northern as well.
Maybe we're gonna absolutely smash year 3, and we can't wait. We've got big plans coming up, and this is after the one where we said the best of year 2, where we said we're not going to promise anything. Well, in the best of year 1, we made promises, but we had nothing planned.
Yeah,
we said we had plans, but we didn't. We sort of did, but it just never really happened. But this time we have got plans, and they're happening. They're in the midst of happening. Look at me, in the midst.
Yeah.
In the midst.
Why did you sound like a black American the second time you said the
A book
word?
sister act. I'm gonna come out there such a little god botherer, like pray Jesus. Yeah,
Woody
we've got
Goldberg.
huge plans, and we can't wait to tune in for next week's episode, and you'll hear what they are. Big changes happening, but yeah, it's really exciting, and we can't wait to share it with you. So yeah, have you got anything else you want to say?
No, I'm all good.
You're all good.
Close this down, baby.